In the tranquil gardens of Jetavana Monastery, Buddha sat beneath the Bodhi tree, his serene presence calming the disciples. Ananda approached Buddha with an expression of concern and asked, "Master, how can we find peace amid financial uncertainty?" Buddha responded with a gentle smile, "Ananda, tell me, what is it that you truly seek? Is it lasting security or fleeting comfort?" Ananda pondered for a moment and replied, "I desire freedom from the anxiety that stems from not knowing if wealth will sustain us." Buddha gestured to the vast sky above and said, "Observe the clouds. Ananda, they form, drift, and dissolve. Wealth is much like them." A merchant named Ravi, known for his immense wealth, joined the disciples and shared his constant fear of losing possessions. Ravi confessed, "Despite my riches, I wake each day fearing that theft, disaster, or misfortune will leave me destitute." Buddha turned to Ravi and spoke, "You carry the burden of attachment. Ravi, what weighs heavier, the gold or your fear of losing it?" Ravi admitted, "It is the fear, Master. It consumes my thoughts and leaves me restless, even amidst abundance." Buddha recounted a story of a wanderer who lived peacefully with nothing but a robe and a bowl for sustenance. The wanderer, Buddha said, found joy in simplicity and freedom in detachment. He owned nothing, yet his heart overflowed with contentment. One disciple, curious about detachment, asked Buddha, "Master, if we relinquish wealth, how do we provide for our families and honor our responsibilities?" Buddha replied, "Detachment is not abandonment. It is the understanding that possessions do not define us nor ensure eternal peace." He continued, "Generosity brings wealth of spirit. When you give freely, you transcend fear and connect with others in profound harmony." Buddha observed a bird fluttering on a branch and spoke, "This bird gathers food not with greed but necessity. It trusts the abundance of nature." The disciples listened intently, their worries momentarily replaced by the soothing cadence of Buddha's teachings. Ravi asked, "Master, how can we practice detachment when society measures worth through material success and possessions?" Buddha explained, "Success is fleeting, like the bloom of a flower. True worth lies in virtue, wisdom, and compassionate actions." A farmer named Keshav recounted how his crops had failed, leaving him devastated and fearful of a future without sustenance. Buddha said, "Keshav, every storm passes. Resilience and gratitude reveal abundance even amidst adversity. Seek solace in community and shared labor." Keshav reflected, "Master, I realize now that fearing scarcity only blinds me to the richness that surrounds me every day." Buddha encouraged the disciples to reflect. Consider what you cling to and ask yourself, does this bring me lasting peace or momentary ease? A young disciple, Priya, asked Buddha, "Master, can we experience joy without the possessions we believe bring happiness?" Buddha smiled warmly, "Priya, joy arises not from objects but from connection, mindfulness, and the awareness of life's inherent impermanence." The sun's rays filtered through the tree's branches, casting patterns of light and shadow on the gathered disciples. To navigate the road is to navigate the mind, the Buddha said, balancing control and surrender with every decision. Detached from fear, not from life. Live fully, without the weight of anxiety. Trust in the impermanence of all things. Ravi stood and vowed, "Master, I will strive to share my wealth generously and release the grip of fear from my heart." Buddha nodded in approval. Generosity purifies the spirit, Ravi. It transforms wealth from a source of anxiety into a vessel of peace. Ananda looked at the Bodhi tree and said, "Master, its roots anchor it, yet its branches sway freely. Can we live with such balance?" Buddha affirmed, "Balance is the essence of life." Ananda, rooted in virtue, yet flexible with the winds of impermanence. Priya smiled, Master, your teachings are like water nourishing a parched land. They guide us toward clarity and understanding. Buddha concluded, clarity arises from reflection. Understanding grows from experience. Peace blossoms when we embrace life without grasping at illusions. The disciples bowed in gratitude, their hearts lighter and minds clearer. Resolved to walk the path of detachment and wisdom, Buddha gazed at the horizon and whispered, "The journey toward peace begins within. Fear not, for impermanence reveals the truth of existence." Another day, as the sun illuminated the monastery, Buddha sat beneath the Bodhi tree, radiating wisdom to his attentive disciples. Ananda approached Buddha with a solemn expression and asked, "Master, how can we overcome the fear of scarcity in life?" Buddha responded calmly, "Ananda, scarcity is not only the absence of resources but also the blindness to what we already possess." A village elder named Maya, carrying an empty bowl, joined the disciples and spoke, "Master, my fields yield nothing this season." Buddha looked at Maya with compassion and said, "Maya, the emptiness of the bowl is a reflection of the mind." Maya asked, "How can I find sustenance and peace when my efforts bear no fruit? And my family hungers for survival?" Buddha gestured to the earth and replied, "The soil does not despair when barren. It awaits renewal, knowing seasons bring change." A disciple named Arun inquired, "Master, how do we cultivate patience when our immediate needs seem insurmountable and pressing?" Buddha shared, "Patience grows through mindfulness. The present moment, when embraced, reveals hidden opportunities and the richness of simplicity." He continued, "Emptiness is not a curse but an invitation. It creates space for gratitude, resilience, and deeper understanding." Buddha narrated the story of a woman who lost her belongings in a fire, yet found solace in the kindness of neighbors. The woman, Buddha said, discovered wealth in the compassion around her. She learned that true sustenance lies in human connection. The internet, like the stream, carries immense potential to connect, sustain, and enlighten, yet its flow must be understood. Buddha said, "Drink from its waters, but do not let its currents sweep you into forgetfulness of your own standing." Buddha advised, "It blinds us to the treasures that reside within and around us." Priya, a young disciple, asked, "Master, how do we practice gratitude when emptiness engulfs our hearts and burdens our lives?" Buddha smiled softly and said, "Priya, gratitude begins with awareness. Even amidst loss, moments of beauty and kindness emerge like stars in darkness." Maya asked, "Master, how can my empty bowl bring gratitude when it only serves as a reminder of what I lack?" Buddha explained, "The bowl is a symbol. Its emptiness holds potential. It is not barren, but open to receive abundance." He added, "What we perceive as emptiness is an opportunity to fill it with virtue, compassion, and the treasures of the spirit." As the morning progressed, a merchant named Kartik joined the group, troubled by debts that overshadowed his thriving business. Kartik said, "Master, I fear that my success is overshadowed by obligations. I feel trapped despite having more than I need." Buddha responded, "Kartik, obligations need not be chains. They are opportunities to honor commitments and serve as a balance for desires." He continued, "Debts of kindness, when repaid with gratitude and fairness, nourish both the giver and receiver." Buddha observed the sun rising higher and said, "Like the sun, which rises to give warmth, we must rise to share what we have." He narrated the tale of a carpenter who built shelters for others and found happiness even when his own home remained humble. The carpenter, Buddha said, realized his joy lay not in possession but in the act of giving and relieving others' suffering. Ananda asked, "Master, how do we ensure that the emptiness does not lead to despair but fuels hope and transformation?" Buddha replied, "By trusting impermanence." Ananda, No state, whether abundance or scarcity, is eternal. Change is the eternal truth of existence. He added, hope is a seed within the emptiness. Nurture it with mindfulness, compassion, and effort, and it will grow into peace. Arun reflected aloud. Master, I see now that the empty bowl can symbolize a heart ready to receive wisdom and understanding. Buddha nodded. Indeed, Arun, an empty heart is a receptive heart, prepared to embrace learning and the richness of life. Maya bowed and said, Master, I will fill my bowl with gratitude for the support of others and my own resilience. Buddha observed. Gratitude is the alchemy of life. Maya, it transforms emptiness into abundance, fear into courage, and sorrow into joy. As the day matured, Priya gazed at the horizon and whispered, Master, your teachings have shown us the wealth within the emptiness. Buddha closed his eyes briefly and said, Empty spaces are beginnings. Fill them wisely, for what you plant within grows and defines your journey. The disciples absorbed the teachings, their worries easing, as they realized the emptiness was not an end but a beginning. Buddha spoke one final time that day. Emptiness holds no fear for those who see it as potential. It becomes the source of peace. Another day, as dawn painted the sky, Buddha sat quietly, inviting his disciples to reflect on aging and its teachings. Ananda approached with reverence and asked, Master, how do we accept the inevitability of aging without fear and resistance? Buddha replied, Ananda, aging is like the flow of a river. Each moment passes, yet it nourishes and shapes the landscape. A devoted disciple named Leela spoke, Master, the thought of losing strength and beauty fills me with sorrow and apprehension. Buddha gazed at her kindly and said, Leela, beauty fades, but wisdom deepens. Strength wanes, but inner peace remains steadfast. He added, the river does not lament its journey to the sea. It knows its essence flows onward, unchanged. An elder named Heron approached Buddha, his voice trembling. Master, my body weakens, and my mind falters. How can I find purpose now? Buddha answered, Heron, old age is a teacher, stripping away illusions and revealing the essence of life with profound clarity. He continued, your purpose now is to share your wisdom, nurture others, and embrace gratitude for the path you have walked. A young monk named Dev asked, Master, why do we fear aging when it is a natural part of existence? Buddha explained, Dev, fear arises from attachment to youth, vigor, and permanence. Embrace impermanence, and fear will dissolve into understanding. He narrated the story of a gardener who tended his plants with care, observing their growth, bloom, and eventual withering. The gardener, Buddha said, found joy in every stage, knowing each moment held its own unique beauty and purpose. Leela asked, Master, how do we cultivate such acceptance when the loss of loved ones weighs heavily on our hearts? Buddha replied, Leela, the love you share is eternal. Though forms change, the essence of connection lives on in your spirit. He shared, grief is the reflection of love. Honor it, but do not let it bind you. Let love guide your way. Heron bowed and said, Master, your words bring solace. Yet, I struggle with the regrets of choices made in youth. Buddha responded. Heron, regrets are like shadows. They fade when you face them with light. The light of forgiveness and self-compassion. He continued. Each moment is a chance to learn, grow, and make peace with the past. The present is your gift. Dev inquired, Master, how can we prepare for old age without becoming consumed by its inevitability? Buddha smiled gently. Dev, live mindfully in the present. The seeds of today blossom into the strength and wisdom of tomorrow. As the morning progressed, Buddha observed a tree shedding its leaves and spoke. The tree lets go without sorrow, trusting renewal. He turned to his disciples and said, Letting go is not loss. It is the beginning of transformation and new understanding. Leela reflected aloud. Master, your teachings are like sunlight, illuminating the path through the shadows of fear and uncertainty. Buddha closed his eyes briefly and said, "Fear not the shadows, for they exist only where there is light to cast them." Ananda asked, "Master, how can we find peace when the future feels uncertain and our bodies betray us?" Buddha replied, "Ananda, peace is not found in certainty or strength but in accepting the flow of life as it unfolds." He continued, "Trust the process, as the river trusts its course. Embrace each moment for the lessons it brings." A widow named Kamala joined the group and shared, "Master, I fear loneliness in my final years, without my partner by my side." Buddha gazed at Kamala and said, "Kamala, love, thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.